Welcome, everybody, to the PodAskew Podcast. I am CJ, and this is my hetero life mate, Rico.
Hello, Internet. How are you today?
Probably better than we are.
Oh, man. This has been an interesting couple weeks. But let's start with you, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Before we get into anything, I'm going to let the fans know this is probably going to be a mini episode. We're going to do one of these every so often just to be like, hey, we're still here while we're working on the long format. And this is one of those.
Which means you'll probably have an easier time structurally following us because it'll not be a 4-hour episode like the last ones we've had.
Well, thanks to my editing, they've only been about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But still, yeah.
Oh, man, if they were in the room with us, they would get the full raw deal of 4 hours of just nonstop geeking the fuck out, which is, part of what we do.
Yeah, but it also generates people to be like, fuck, they're still talking.
Well, it's more or less, wow, fuck, Rico's still talking. CJ is periodically throwing in his 2 cents, but, because I've had people say Rico, I didn't know it was possible for someone to talk 4 hours, and I'm like, oh, you just got the 3-hour version or the hour-and-a-half version.
Yeah,
it goes on and on and on, and they're just like, I don't even know anybody who could talk for 4 hours. I have a family friend who's just like, do you talk to yourself?
That's a good question.
And I said,
do you?
No, I talk to myself in traffic. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I think everybody does that to keep from wanting to blow the brains out of the person next to you.
I talk to myself in traffic, and everybody is my buddy. And everybody is like, come on, buddy. Let's go, buddy. What are you doing, buddy? The fuck are you doing, buddy? Let's go, buddy.
I get that. Mine's usually a little more hostile, but I get it. So.
Well, that's me being hostile, because I wouldn't, buddy is such a, it's the nicest thing you could say at being shitty at the same time. All right, buddy.
All right, so if you call me buddy, I know you're pissed off.
That's right.
All right. Good to know. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to call someone an asshole without calling someone an asshole.
I'd rather just call him an asshole.
Well, I call people assholes too, but I mean I like when it comes to swearing, I like to throw it all around. So I like to make up swear words. So I'll be driving and be like, "What the fuck you doing, Salmon Seaman?"
There you go. I'm gonna use that one. I like that one.
Or dumpster fire, or you goddamn fucking politician.
My favorite. It's not a curse word, but curse insult I've ever heard comes from a movie, actually.
Okay.
And we're not talking movies in the sense that we usually do today, so don't worry about that, people. But from Blade 3 is my favorite.
I'm gonna guess it.
Okay.
Cock juggling thunder cunt.
It's cum guzzling thunder cunt, but yes.
I'm pretty positive it's cock juggling thunder cunt.
Nope, believe me, I got it memorized. It's a cum guzzling thunder cunt.
Okay, I might have to have Steph be our lookup. Steph, I need you to look up on the movie Blade Trinity on IMDb the quotes. Ryan Reynolds' character, Hannibal King, says something to the akin of cock juggling or cum guzzling, but thunder cunt is definitely in.
We agree on the thunder cunt. That's the part we agree on.
We agree on thunder cunt for sure, but I'm saying it's cock juggling. CJ says cum guzzling. So we need our woman in the chair to look up and do our homework for us.
Speaking of woman in the chair, that's a good segue, Rico. Your girlfriend Stephanie has graciously accepted the position of our showrunner, production manager, basically just keeping us in line. So,
yes, because without her, we would be floating by, but we'd be all over the place. And the best thing about Stephanie is that she is perfect at reeling me back. And she's like, do you want to be sued today? So she's like, you should think of a topic and not like get all over the place. Try and structure you in and try not be too vicious.
Well, as far as getting sued goes, we do technically fall under the First Amendment. So, in that regard, unless we're outright accusing somebody of a crime or something of that nature, we can say whatever the fuck we want.
I agree with that. We have the First Amendment on our side, but we also have Trump as president, so who the fuck knows how long that's going to last.
Very true. However, but I do also appreciate her point of view, because we don't want to alienate listeners either. So,
of course. All right, hold on. I think we have the
we have
answer.
A verdict?
Okay. The answer is that's atomized colloidal silver. It's being pumped through the building air conditioning system. You cock-juggling thundercunt. Score for Rika.
I don't know. I'll get the movie clip and put in the show.
You cock-juggling thundercunt.
Look.
It's all blurry, but I'm not saying that to be an ass. It's really just blurry. But
I don't mean to embarrass you, man, but I have a memory for movies like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but cum guzzling thundercunt sounds so much better.
You can still use cum guzzling. I'm not trying to take your cum guzzling away from you. Wow. That's
wait. I am not guzzling any cum, okay?
Yeah, sure, and I'm not juggling some cock over here. But we both agree, thundercunt, I just happen to be right for the movie.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree that you're right.
We will agree to disagree that you are wrong.
So,
now that we got thundercunts out of the way. Thundercunt!
Yeah,
Thundercunt! Oh!
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. We're off to a wonderful start.
Well, who cares? This is what they expect us. They expect us to just be two guys talking about random bullshit.
No, absolutely. I love it.
Are you still looking to see if like if it was another quote? Like Steph is looking to see if maybe there's another quote that is like they added both of them.
And this is why she is our showrunner.
And we have to point out that Steph is visiting me, and I was sick. So if we're going to do a little recap of what's been going on with me,
yeah.
I had a flu, or at least I thought I had a flu. I still assume I had a flu. I had the fever. I had chills. I was coughing a storm up. I was congested. I was just a mess. And then Stephanie came to visit because I hadn't seen her in like 5 or 6 weeks, and we were like, look, whether I'm sick or not, I need to see my sweetie. And she was like, I need to see my sweetie too. So then she came out and visited me and immediately got sick. And we found out, despite the fact that I was sick as shit, I did not get her sick.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad. I was convinced that I had gotten her sick, but luckily I didn't. So the blame is not on me. It's on her.
Well, my personal opinion is you're not allowed to let her leave. She just has to stay. Even if you have to like chain her to a pole or something. I don't know.
If I have to pull a Black Snake Moan on her, I will. But otherwise, she was going to leave Sunday. To drive, not even fly back or bus back, but drive back to her house, so like an 8-hour drive. And I said, honey, it's not going to happen. You need to call who you need to call. You need to text who you need to text. You need to email who you need to email. You are staying until you are safe enough and well enough. So she got like the worst of it. Whatever I had, we actually kind of fucked up on my medication because we just were taking a very low dose for my medication. So once we figured it out, we increased my dose, and I started feeling better. She started feeling worse, and I made the joke to the doctor today because we went to Kaiser. Well, she went to Kaiser 3 times this week. I went with her twice, and we finally saw a doctor today, and I basically said, I think I'm like she's shrinking, like she's getting worse and worse, and I'm getting better and better. I'm feeding off of her like a Republican.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So the doctor said that's so bad, but she laughed her ass off. So the fact that Steph is out here and fact checking for us and being our management and probably our PR at some point, we owe her a lot. So let's give a round of applause to Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie, for being amazing at doing what you're doing, as sick as you are. She can't talk, which for someone like me is an absolute nightmare because I love talking to her and I love hearing her voice, but it's also like the most interesting game of charades ever.
Well, just because she can't talk tonight does not get her out of being on this podcast at some point. She is not going to be just the person behind the scenes. That's not a warning. That's a threat.
No, we will. We definitely want to get her on the episode. She can be a little shy.
We'll fix that.
Yeah, I mean, she's done. If you listeners are curious about who Stephanie is and how she can actually handle a conversation, you could check out 3 of the rants that she has done with me. We did Goodfellas, which was perfect because she'd never seen Goodfellas, and Goodfellas is such a boy movie, and I don't know. I had some weird fucking curse where, like, I had to show every single girlfriend of mine Goodfellas.
See, I would take The Godfather over Goodfellas.
I mean, The Godfather is they're apples and oranges. They're both talking about the Italian mafia, and it's great mafia film, but Goodfellas shows the flashy glamour of the mafia, whereas The Godfather shows more of intricate family-oriented as well as patriarchal.
Okay, but I would even take Casino over Goodfellas.
Casino is the stepbrother of Goodfellas, where it's like still part of the family, but it's also like they hang around too much. What?
Is it Fredo? Is it the Fredo?
No, I would not call Casino the Fredo of the mafia movies. That's really funny, though. I would call if I'm going to call Fredo something, I would go.
Oh, it's got to be like Analyze This or something like that.
But I love Analyze This.
Oh, so do I. But it's you hold it up to something like Casino or Goodfellas or The Godfather, and it's nothing.
I would call something like, I would call Raging Bull the Fredo.
Now, see, that I've never seen. So,
because it's a mob film, but it's also not a mob film.
Right.
And that's what Fredo. Fredo is in the mob, but he also doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I get it. Well, anyway,
I would probably amend that list at some point. Anyways,
well,
that's a good way of comparing it.
We can do a mobster movie one sometime, but
so Steph and I did a rant of Goodfellas, and I immediately knew how funny she was and how quick she can be, and all that fear of talking to a camera and talking to the internet basically went out the window when she came up with the best term I've ever heard to describe a guy movie, because she was like, you know how there's chick flicks for, movies for women? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, this is for dudes. And I'm at that moment, I'm trying to be like, oh, I mean, it's like a good flicka, and I'm like coming up with really shitty puns, and she's like, like a dick flick.
There you go.
Wow. I was so dumbfounded with it. I was just like, I can't believe I was more pissed off at myself that I never came up with that term, and absolutely wowed, because it's so obvious and so simple and it's so perfect the way to describe Goodfellas. So we did a rant of Goodfellas. We did a rant of the horror film Halloween, which that was a real test of our relationship, because she's not a horror buff. She's not fond of gore, but she loves a good suspenseful film. And that's how I said, you've got to see this, because this is Jaws on land. Yeah.
I can see that.
And then the final rant, the most recent rant that we did The Last Jedi. And it was not like differing sides. It was not apples and oranges. It was just straight up apples, meaning we hate the fuck out of this movie, but there's some good scenes.
Yeah, I know. I watched part of that one.
So if you fans would like to give a shout out to Stephanie, you guys could check her out on my Rika's Rants, as well as if you would like to follow her on Twitter. Steph, what's your Twitter?
INFJ18+, I think.
INFJ18+. Is that right? All right, that is right. INFJ18+. I still don't know what the fuck it means, but we're going to have to figure that one out.
It's a personality test result.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Well, see, I got CJ translating for Stephanie, because Stephanie's across from me, but she can't talk. So Stephanie is now on the mend. We went to Kaiser today. We finally got her on the right dosage of medications. So the next couple of days, she's going to be doing a lot of healing. And I'm going to be finally going back to work today for like the first time in like a week, basically. Like I would go to work and work like 3 hours, and I'd be like, I can't do it. I'm like dripping sweat. I don't have my voice. My ears are plugged up, like still plugged up now. So like my job requires me to talk and listen for 5 hours. And I literally had to hold up. I made a sign on my tablet that I typed out saying, due to the flu, I have lost my voice and my ears are plugged up due to congestion, but I am not contagious. I had to like put that in caps because everyone's like, oh my God, you're sick.
Right.
I'm not going to go near you. And then I'm like, I am not contagious. Movies are, week rentals are due on this day by 7 p.m. 2-day rentals are due this day by 7 p.m. So like I would just have that out in front of me. Customers were like, do you know where? And I'm like, no. I'm just shaking my head like, don't even try. And I said, I can't fucking do this. So I texted my boss. I was like, I need you to come back. I can't do it. And so I've been consistently missing work, and I feel bad. The unfortunate thing is because we're so understaffed at work. That's what sucks. Is I feel bad because I miss so much work, and now, but I'll be going back to work today, so that'll be good.
There you go. Going back to being Randall.
That's right.
Yeah, so, well, at least you're going back. You're going to be Randall. I think I said this to you before, but I think it's on the unreleased pilot, dude. You just need to do the beard, like, super long, and then you would fucking be Brian Johnson. Swear to God.
I don't think I should pull a Brian Johnson because I think Steph would cut it off. My beard, babe, not anything else.
Don't even joke about that shit. No. Talk about cock juggling.
I sort of go for a Heisenberg look.
Heisenberg look?
Yeah, I shave my head and I grow a goatee, but I call it my Heisenberger and fries.
Ah, it's a reverse mullet.
It's a reverse mullet, yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, a reverse mullet would be a full beard and a shaved head.
Well, you've got a full beard.
I have a full beard, but I don't have I haven't shaved my head in like 6 weeks, but I normally do.
It's close enough to qualify, I think.
I usually bick it, so.
Okay, you got to get a skull shaver. Maybe we can get them to sponsor the show. That'd be awesome.
I would probably use it every day if I got a skull shaver.
Dude, if I start losing my hair, I'm going for your look. I'm telling you right now.
You could pull it off.
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, you can pull it off.
So, you saw me with the full beard. The first time we talked, I had the full beard.
I think you look better with the goatee, personally.
Yeah, I mean, the full beard's just kind of a hibernation mode because it turns into the fucking Arctic here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean it's not Seattle there?
Yeah. I love Arlie for that. That was awesome.
I felt like I was singled out for that. I'm like,
look,
I've
I've
been to Seattle. I was just making a fucking joke. Jesus, I didn't know I was going to get every Jersey native attacking me because I said, "Oh, you mean it's like Seattle?"
Yeah, well, she is Jersey first.
Have you met her?
Not in person, no.
Oh, okay.
No, because she moved to where she lives now long before we ever met. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, so she's a Jersey native, Jersey represent, but she's not currently living in Jersey. Got it.
So, life over here's been not too bad. It's for pollen. Holy shit, dude! When you get a chance, even if it's after we get done recording, go look up pollen tree, Philadelphia or New Jersey, something like that, and it'll pull it up. Someone in Vineland, which is a town that's like 45 minutes south of where I live,
Yes, sir.
purposely drove a backhoe into a tall-ass oak tree, and the amount of pollen that fell off this tree was... You would think it was like photoshopped or some kind of video trickery, and it's not. It's...
Wait. They purposely hit a tree on purpose.
Yeah, to shake the pollen off.
Why the fuck would they do that?
To show how bad the pollen... They didn't knock the tree down, they just tapped it. They didn't, like, bulldoze it.
No, I'm not a tree hugger. I'm just saying, like, it sounds like they were trying to fucking, like, have some sort of natural warfare, like a natural pollen holocaust going on where, like, everyone's like, all right, all those people with allergies, fuck you! And
No, that's why
fucking tree.
No, Vineland's, like, so super rural that, like, there wasn't a house within, like, 100 acres of this tree. They did it specifically just to show the level of pollen is on the tree.
Oh, okay. So it was aggressive science experiment.
I don't know if that's the phrase I'd use, but okay.
That's what I came up with.
Yeah, I see that. But yeah, so that's been that, and your Seattle analogy does work because it's been raining for about 10 days now. I haven't seen the sun in 10 days.
So why am I getting so much fucking hate?
Because people who are from Jersey love Jersey. Jersey represent.
All right. No disrespect to the Jerseyans. I applaud you. I commend you. I condemn you at the same time. But at the same time, like, Seattle's nice.
It is. I've been there.
If anything, I love depressing weather. So, like, if anything, it's a compliment for me because I love it raining. I love it, like, depressing.
Okay. Well, then you come to New Jersey. I'll go to Vegas, and we'll be good.
At the same time, so you want me to go to New Jersey while you go to fucking Vegas? That sounds a whole lot of fun. I'll just be stuck in New Jersey, and you will be having the time of your life in Vegas. Thanks, buddy. I thought we were friends, you fucking fuck.
So, yeah, but other than that, I think, working some more, working.
We've experienced some deaths this past couple weeks.
We have in the celebrity world. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. I know English. I speak well.
Yeah, it's because you're from New Jersey. We laugh like children.
Yes, we do. We are children. We are children in adult bodies. That's what we are.
Yes. So bottom of the list, but top in our hearts, Vern Troyer.
Well, he's only at the bottom because he's like 1.5 feet tall.
I think he held the record of the shortest actor.
I think he was the shortest human being, honestly.
I don't
joking.
think he was the shortest human being, but he was definitely the shortest actor. And he had to be a stuntman because there was no one small enough to do his stunts.
He started as a stuntman, I knew that.
Yeah, Vern Troyer, man, I mean, obviously is most famous for Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movies.
Yeah, which I'm not a big fan of those movies. Like, I don't hate them. It's not like Will Ferrell movies for me, but I'm not the biggest Austin Powers fan. But I do enjoy them. Like, I know people that are like, oh my God, you know.
Well, let me put it this way. I loved them when I was a kid, and then I rewatched them as an adult. I'm like, wow, they're not very funny. Or they're just not as funny. It's really aimed for 12 to 14-year-olds.
Right. And they even overused him by the end of it.
They what?
They overused Vern. Like, I think, look, spoilers as we usually do. When he switches sides and becomes a mini Austin Powers, it's like, eh.
Yeah, but all of Goldmember was kind of, eh.
Well, that's true.
I mean, here's the thing. I saw them out of order because I don't know why, but I always see, like, movies out of order.
I was just going to say that. You have this thing for out of order.
I don't know what it is because people are always like, oh, we're going to watch this. And I'm like, okay, let's watch it. It's like Austin Powers the Spider Shagged Me. And I'm like, I don't It's funny, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. And that happens all the time. Where like, I mean, with the exception of like, say, The Godfather. I saw The Godfather 1, 2, and 3 in order.
Me too.
But like, for like Austin Powers, I saw 2, then 1, then 3, and then for something like
Star Wars,
something like Halloween was like all over the fucking place.
Well, that's because there's 40 of them.
There's not. There's,
I mean, there's not 40, but there's a fuck ton of them.
I think it's got less than like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. I think Halloween, if you include the remake and the sequel to the remake, is probably about 10.
I think it's
but
12.
Even that,
I want to say 12.
That's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th has 12.
No, but wasn't H2O number 10? That's why I'm saying that.
H2O was 7.
Was it? Okay. I don't know these well enough to argue that.
Based on that, H2O was 7. Halloween Resurrection was 8. Then they remade it. So that's
the Rob Zombie
9.
ones.
Rob Zombie's remake. Then the sequel to is so that's 11. And then they're making another one like this upcoming year.
Okay.
Called Halloween. And so yeah, I was right. It's 12.
All right, and since Vern Troyer was in none of those, rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, so but Vern Troyer, he, despite his stature, always seemed like he gave it his all. He always was memorable in every one of his roles, including here's a little bit of trivia. He is one of 2 actors that's American in the first Harry Potter film, Harry Potter the Sorcerer's Stone or Harry Potter the Philosopher's Stone if you're British.
Yeah.
So he plays Griphook.
Yep.
The goblin in Gringotts, but he doesn't do the voice. He's voiced by Warwick Davis, but he does the body of Griphook, and then he's replaced it in Deathly Hallows by Warwick Davis. And then the other American actor, because J.K. Rowling insisted it's got to be Irish, Scottish, British actors. The other one was Chris Columbus's daughter.
Okay, I don't know her name.
So
get the woman in the chair to do the research.
I think it's Eleanor Columbus or something, but she's the one who played Susan Bones, and she's kind of like featured prominently in the first one because it's his daughter.
Yeah.
So it was her and Vern Troyer, like only not British people in Harry Potter.
Would you believe I never saw those until this year?
Really?
Yeah, because and this sounds really contradictory to our first 2 and probably 3 episodes by the time this comes out, but if something gets really popular, I tend to shy away from it.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Well, I guess I don't know what that means exactly, but okay. But it depends. What's that?
You know exactly what I mean.
No, not necessarily, but I mean it depends. Like if I'm on board before it's popular, then I stay on board. Like for example, Big Bang Theory. I watched that from episode 1. I watched the premiere of that episode when it came out, and I'm still on board.
Clips and that's it.
What's that?
I've seen clips and that's it.
Oh, I love that fucking show. But at the same time, I won't watch The Walking Dead, and I probably will never watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, you are so missing out.
On which one?
On both of them, but primarily Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is because people are always asking if they should start it at my job. Like customers be like, I've heard it's good. Should I see it? And the best way I can recommend it is it's The Sopranos in Middle Earth.
Yeah, but I wasn't a Sopranos fan, so...
Well, fuck you for not liking The Sopranos either.
Yeah, what it is. But, so...
You live in New Jersey!
I live in southern New Jersey. Anything above Trenton should not be New Jersey.
You're such a fucking, racist.
I am not a racist.
You are racist against North New Jerseyans.
If you knew North New Jerseyans, you would be too.
Oh, so you admit
it. It's not racism, it's statism.
Okay, you're a statist.
Yeah. There was I'm not shitting you, on an election like 8 years ago, I want to say, there was an amendment to try to split the state into two.
One of them is New Jersey. What's the other one going to be? Old Jersey or New Jersey?
No, it was going to be North Jersey and South Jersey, kind of like Korea.
Don't compare it to fucking Korea. You guys
I didn't have a better
bad.
idea. Well, I didn't know a better analogy. What other
North and South Carolina?
That's all one conglomerate anyway.
Don't my stepfather is from North Carolina. He would disagree.
Right. Yeah, I know. Anyway, you get the point.
So who else died?
Oh, Margot Kidder.
God, Margot fucking Kidder. She was young, too.
60. Well, so was Vern. Vern was like 42, I think.
Vern was... No, I think he was 50. He went to 51.
No, he was in his 40s. I know that for a fact. I'm looking up right now.
Maybe 49? I'm going to guess 49.
Maybe. That's possible. I'll give you that one. Let me look. I'm looking it up. But Margot Kidder was 64? 69?
I think she was 69. She was young.
69, dude. Speaking of which, Bill and Ted 3. So excited. Cannot wait.
Oh, God. I could give less of a fuck, honestly.
How could you? That's awesome.
Because George Carlin's dead.
Well, no, but they're doing something pretty cool. I like what they're doing. Did you hear what they're doing?
No.
Rufus had a daughter, so it's going to be Rufus's daughter.
If it's going to be anybody except like Sarah Silverman or Janine Garofalo, I'm not interested.
I think they're probably going younger than that, but I don't know who.
Fucking.
All right, so two things about Vern Troyer. First off, he was 49, so you were right about the age. But well, no, not really, because you said over 50, so I was right first.
49, 50 for a little person might as well be the same fucking thing. That's a big deal to them.
And he was 2'8". So I think he might have been the smallest person on the planet. Or at least known person.
That's pretty fucking impressive, man. I mean, yeah, Vern Troyer, I got to give, he, as little as he was all heart. He had his own demons, too. I don't think they've released why or how he died.
They did.
But they did?
Alcohol poisoning.
On purpose?
That's the unconfirmed part. But
yeah, because he was battling suicide and depression as well, and alcoholism, but it was whether he accidentally alcohol poisoned himself or did it on purpose. That's the thing we don't know. I'd like to, give my condolences to his family. I'm sure they're going through a rough time. I saw Mike Myers was on like Kimmel or Fallon or whatever the fuck. They're all the same goddamn show to me. If it's not Craig Ferguson, I don't care, is how I look at it. I miss Craig Ferguson so fucking much.
You know what? I only watched his show for a week, and it's the week Metallica did their residency.
And you just weren't into it?
Well, it was like the last week he was on the air, if I recall, or the week before, or something like that.
That's possible.
Margot Kidder was 69
when
she died.
Called it.
I knew you were closer with that one than you were with Vern.
I was still pretty close with fucking Vern. I said 50 or 51. So, he was 49.
Speaking of Margot Kidder, did you have you? Because I know you're a big movie guy. You ever watched Screen Junkies on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've stopped following them concerning the what's his face Andy Signore.
They kicked his ass off like the minute that went down. He's gone.
No, I know that, but at the same time, I'm like, as fucked as it is, I was kind of a fan of Andy Signore's portrayal because I was like, he kind of sounds like me, and he kind of like a little all over the place. Every time Kevin Smith's going to do an episode or Mark Bernardin is going to do an episode, I watch that if they're going to do the movie fights. Okay,
did you see the one that Bernardin did like 2 weeks ago?
No, I honestly, I think I might have unfollowed Screen Junkies. I need to get back to it.
Look, they came out like a month or 6 weeks after the thing with Andy Signore happened and did like a 30 or 40 minute thing, and then it was like all the heavy hitters over there. So like Dan Merrill, Hal, who annoys the fuck out of me, but we won't talk about that right now. And then the girl with the pink hair, whose
The
name
Australian
escapes
chick?
me. What's that?
The Australian one?
No, I think she's Asian or something. I don't know.
There's a woman who's from Australia or New Zealand. Her name was Melissa Malone or something like that.
No, that's not her. No. I know who you're talking. No. That's not her. I know who you're talking about, but that's not it. Anyway,
Okay.
they had these people sit around and they directly addressed what happened with Andy and how it affected the rest of them. Not in a way like, oh, poor us, but like, we didn't know, we don't condone it, and this is the changes we're going to make to make sure it doesn't happen again. You know, that kind of stuff. So they really, really took ownership of it, even though the four of them had nothing to do with it. You know. But anyway.
Well, what's that got to do with Margot Kidder?
Well, right. So that's what I was getting to. So I'm still watching movie fights because they did bring it back. They've changed the format a little bit, but they're still doing them. And on this last one that they aired yesterday, they did the worst superhero movie sequel. Or no, most disappointing superhero movie sequel. And one of the combatants used Superman 3.
I would say Superman 3 is more... I mean, look, Superman 3 is pretty terrible. But Superman 3 also has some good moments.
Well, let me tell you the three that were picked. I mean, I'm not saying we have to get into it, but the three that were picked were Superman 3, X-Men Last Stand, and Spider-Man 3. The
Superman
Sam Raimi.
3, I think, would be the worst of all those.
Okay. Now, you know... Go ahead.
If you want my take, Superman 3 was just a Richard Pryor film. And I love Richard Pryor, but it was just a Richard Pryor film that happened to have Superman.
Well, that was the guy's argument, because it was supposed to be Superman, and remember, the question was the most disappointing. So he said, once you come off Superman 1, and then Superman 2 with Zod, and how good that was, especially for the time, and then you come into this movie where the first, 40 minutes is Richard Pryor, and then Superman dealing with split personality disorder on top of fighting a cyborg. And then he fights a cyborg at
duality,
the end.
That was the most interesting part of Superman 3, which is why I said it was the worst one, but also had some good moments. Like where he's drunk and pissed off in a bar or something.
Yeah.
That's really a good scene.
The worst part of Superman, the worst Superman though, is the one
Superman Returns.
No, actually I like that movie. And I know it's not vogue to say anymore, and I understand why, but I thought Kevin Spacey was the best Luthor we've ever seen. It just turns out he's a scumbag.
I agree that he was the best Luthor, but I also think he was the best Luthor in one of the worst Superman. Though just Kevin Smith phrases just this whiny emo Superman, and nothing fucking happens, which is why we got Man of Steel, as aggressive as Man of Steel is. So
I love Man of Steel, though. I think that's a great movie.
I think it's a good Superman movie, but honestly, I was never a Superman fan. So this is gonna go ironic. My favorite Superman, apart from Christopher Reeve, because Christopher Reeve is the definitive Superman. My favorite Superman is the movie Hollywoodland, where Ben Affleck plays George Reeves, not Christopher
I didn't see
Reeve.
that. Yeah.
So it's Ben Affleck playing the actor in the 50s who played the Superman serials.
My favorite Superman, honestly, is Dean Cain.
Really?
Yeah, I like that. I used to love that show.
I never got into Lois and Clark, and I never got into Smallville.
I never got into Smallville either. I never saw it.
Like I said, Superman was not my go-to. But for the other two, X-Men Last Stand and Spider-Man 3, X-Men Last Stand was, especially because Bryan Singer left X-Men to go to Superman.
Yep.
And I saw the two of them around the same time because they were both around the same time in theaters. And I was like, fucking Brett Ratner is a fucking genius because Superman Returns sucks.
Yeah, we'll have to save it for a longer conversation, but he should have stayed and did the third X-Men. But it is what it is. Margot.
So Margot, I'll tell you the weirdest fucking movie I've ever seen with Margot Kidder.
Okay, because I've only ever seen her in Superman, so go for it.
I bought this fucking movie, and I still have it somewhere on VHS, and I guarantee I'm probably one of maybe 7 people who've heard of this film. It is so weird, and it's a very low budget Canadian horror flick, and it's called The Clown at Midnight. And what it is it's these actors, like they're like juvenile delinquent kids, and they have to like restore for whatever their punishment is. They have to restore this old derelict opera house, this old theater.
Okay.
And Margot Kidder is like the head, like she's like their teacher or their guidance counselor or something. And Christopher Plummer is in it, and you're like, what the fuck is this movie? And at the same time, they're being stalked by the operatic clown, the Pagliacci, the Ridi Pagliaccio, da, 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 like that fucking dude.
Ah, okay.
Like the crying clown. And I'm a big fan of that opera. That's my favorite fucking aria is Vestila Juba, which is, the singing clown bullshit. So it's literally a Canadian horror film in a theater where this guy is dressed up as the operatic clown, Canio, chasing these fucking kids and stabbing them. And I'm like, what the fuck is Lois Lane doing in this movie? What the fuck is Christopher Plummer doing in this fucking movie? What is this fucking movie? And I remember, The Clown at Midnight. Such a fucking, ridiculous title. I mean, but ever since, I was like, you know what, honestly, that if you're going to make a horror film based on opera, Pagliacci is the way to do it. Because Pagliacci is a fucked up opera. It's all about blending murder on stage and how the audience isn't aware that the murder is happening on stage. They think it's all part of the act, and the clown is crying on the inside. And then after he kills his wife, because she's been cheating on him with a soldier, he kills her on stage as well as her lover, and the audience is starting to finally figure out this is not part of the show. He looks at the audience and says, La commedia è finita. The comedy is over. And then it ends.
Okay.
Italians, we do not fuck around. So the fact that Margot Kidder was in this ridiculous fucking movie, when I think of Margot Kidder, I think of 2 things. I think of her being bipolar.
Yeah. Which is sad that's the
which is sad, but she even acknowledged, she's like, I'm the spokesperson for being bipolar.
Yes, she did.
And if it wasn't her, it was going to be Carrie Fisher. Margot Kidder is just another Carrie Fisher that was just, beloved, but also crazy, and never disowned her demons. She owned up to her demons.
So go ahead.
I'm sad Margot Kidder died.
Well, it's sad when anybody dies, and I agree, because that's still part of my childhood, even if I'm not a fan of all those Superman movies. I love the first 2. And I want to see the Donner cuts someday. I haven't seen them yet, because apparently they're a lot different.
It's so good. It's so good.
But I was looking up a cheesy horror movie, because I know you like them, and it reminded me of something else I want to tell you about, so I'm going to do this quick, because I know you got to get going. But Muse was in a really shit... Do you remember the TV show Project Greenlight? Feast? Okay, you know Feast. All right, I figured you did.
I'll do better. He was in a vampire film.
He's been in a shit ton of movies. I'm just looking at his IMDb. He's been in more shit than I realized. He's been in a ton of stuff, and none of them are as Jay. So,
although he played a Jay type character in. You could double check this. He played a Jay type character in the video game of Scarface. Scarface, The World Is Yours. He plays a guy who is Jay being Jay, basically.
Well, it's not showing up here that I can see, but I'm not saying you're wrong. Wait, there it is. Yeah, it just says it's his voice. It doesn't give him a character name. So
yeah.
But it's you, king of the segue, because in our MCU and episode MC Skewed, I told you there was something I was going to tell you about after we recorded, and I realized I didn't. And that is a game called Randall's Monday.
Randall's Monday. Okay.
Randall's Monday. It is Randall. It is
Jeff Anderson?
Jeff Anderson. And it's a choose your own adventure, crazy ass View Askew video game. I mean, it's not all View Askew, but Jay and Bob make an appearance.
Really?
There's a lot of references to the universe, but there's Star Trek and there's Star Wars and.
Is this on Android?
No, it's a. I had it on the PS4, but I think it's on the 3 too, and I know you have one.
Really? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, Randall's Monday. Look it up in the PlayStation Store. I think it's like $30. It's not ridiculous. And
$30 is ridiculous.
Well,
I don't.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
that's on you.
The last game I bought, and it wasn't even on a PS3, was for. Actually, I want to give a plug out because I fucking love this game, and I just beat it the other day. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
That's a PC title, isn't it?
That's a PC game, but I bought it for my tablet for $10.
Okay.
And it's not glitchy. It actually, I think it runs better than the disc version because I had it on CD and it took like 4 CDs to fucking install the thing.
The funny thing is, you're okay with doing that, and I think paying $10 for a tablet or a phone game is ridiculous.
Well, because I don't have a fucking PC.
No, I know, but you do have the PS3.
I have the PS3, but I need to I'm trying to decide whether I want to buy more PS3 games or stop and then eventually get a PS4.
Get the 4 because they're gonna
get the 4.
Get the 4.
Well, for all you listeners, it's my birthday next month. If you guys want to send me some donations or send me a PS4, I'm happy to take it.
I just would be happy with listeners because I'm not sure how many of those we have right now.
That's all I want for my birthday is more listeners.
Yeah.
No.
But no, seriously, dude, you walk around as Randall.
All right, I'll take a look at it.
Look,
maybe they have a demo.
I don't think so. I'm not being difficult, but I don't think so.
I can at the very least look it up online. So I need to get ready to go to work.
Yep.
So everyone, I'm going to say goodbye. CJ, you're going to have to end the episode and segue out.
You got it.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Hope you all have a good weekend. May the force be with you.
See you, Rico.
Bye-bye, CJ.
All right, everybody. That was one of our short-form experimental episodes. Just a little bit of news and notes and what's going on in each other's lives and things like that. So let us know if you liked it. If you didn't like it, we won't do it again. But it's we're going to try to put a couple of these out every so often and break up the monotony of those marathon-type episodes that we do. So, again, give us some feedback. Tell us what you think, and we'll go from there. I want to thank everybody for listening. It's always fun doing this for you guys. We haven't expressed enough to you guys as fans, people who are listening, how much we enjoy doing this. And we do it for ourselves, but we certainly do it for you guys. And we want to thank you for listening because it drives us to keep doing more of them. And we'll keep doing them as long as you want to listen to them because we love this. And to that point, we have a very exciting announcement. We have been asked to join the Podcast A Go-Go network. And after some deliberation and discussions, we decided to accept. So we are now proud members of Podcast A Go-Go network, and you can find them on Twitter at Podcast A Go-Go. That's all one word, and you can find them on the interwebs at www.podcastagogo.com. Super excited to be a part of this family. They've got a plethora of shows from wrestling to video games to just flat-out comedy, entertainment. And it's growing, so I'm sure even as I'm recording this, there are more episodes coming. So, very exciting news for us. We hope you guys like that. It's not changing anything about the show for those of you who like what we're doing. They totally are giving us autonomy, so we can still do exactly what we've been doing, how we've been doing it, and also room to make changes to improve the show if we find them. So there's that, and check out the other shows on the network. I'm still getting familiar with it myself, so I can't list some of those tonight. We will certainly list them in the future. So again, that's podcastagogo.com or at podcastagogo on Twitter. As always, speaking of Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at M_Blade. You can find Rico at RantsRico. You can still tweet the show at PodAskew. None of that's going away just because we're part of this network now. It's just an additional way for you guys to find us. So there's that. Thanks for the opening music to Dubbed in English, 96 Reasons. Again, as always, you can reach out to me for the songs because they're no longer online, although I'm working on trying to fix that. And for Samuel Lemons, for our closing music, Theme Askew, you can find him on SoundCloud.com. That's Samuel Lemons. Just do a search and he pops right up. He's putting out new music all the time, so check him out if you like that style of music. Also, and we don't push this enough, so I need to start doing that, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. Go find us there, subscribe, like, comment, rate, review, all of it. We want to increase our listenership, and to do that, we need the ratings, reviews, and followers. So I'm sure there are people out there listening and that like the show. We have some pretty decent download numbers so far, so I'm hoping that's not people just going, "Oh, fuck, what did I find?" But if it's not you, please check out the show and go subscribe and like and rate because we want to get higher in the ratings. Hey, shameless plug, and I'm selfish, damn it. I'm not going to lie. So, again, thank everybody for listening. We really love doing this, and we love you for listening, more importantly. So, until we talk to you next time, see ya.
Damn it! PodAskew. PodAskew. PodAskew.